Coming up next on One TV.
I am just so happy that our team sees the value in taking that time, because essentially we are training the next generation of defenders.
This is what I'm here for, and this is what I want to do, and it gave me the opportunity to realize that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path.
Welcome to One TV, your source for all the latest happenings in Shelby County government impacting our community. I'm your host, Kontji Anthony, and today we have a special guest joining us. We are honored to welcome Chief Phyllis Aluko. Chief Aluko, you have been in the Public Defender's Office nearly 30 years. You are the first African-American female Chief Public Defender in Shelby County history. Tell us what your office does and how it feels to have such a distinguished title.
Well, it feels great. I'm actually the first woman to be confirmed by the Shelby County Commission to be the Shelby County Chief Public Defender, and that's an awesome responsibility. I feel very grateful that the community has entrusted me. What our office does is we represent accused people who have been charged with committing a criminal offense. Literally what we do is make certain that due process is afforded for every client and for every case.
Not everybody has, a bucket of money to represent themselves. And so that's where you step in.
Absolutely. Our clients have been determined to be indigent, meaning that they cannot afford to hire private counsel to represent them on the charge of which they have been accused. And so we step in to make certain that they get zealous, client-centered advocacy.
Okay, so of course we can't talk about any open cases, but if you could think of one or more memorable cases that could help us understand just exactly what happens inside the Public Defender's Office, share that with us so we can just see what you do.
Well, I've had in my career a lot of memorable cases. I've worked in our trial unit. I've worked in our appellate division, and so both at trial and on appeal, I've had some very memorable cases. I think the most memorable to me, the most impactful, are those where I could see immediately where my advocacy has made a difference in my client's life, which is why I got into this line of work to begin with, to make a positive difference. I've had a case in which I represented a young gentleman who was a football player in college, and the difference between the outcome of me being able to get a positive outcome for his case made the difference in his ability to go on and play in the NFL. I've had cases where obviously you remember the cases in which you went to trial and got not guilty verdicts. But I think something that happened most recently in our office that was not one of the cases that I tried, but one of the cases that my colleagues in the office tried was a murder first degree case. And we had a client who was charged with the most serious offense that you can be charged with in Tennessee, and looking at life or life without parole in prison. And when our office got the case and began to work the case, began to do the defense investigation, which is not done usually prior to us being appointed, we began to look into the case from the defense's perspective, and we discovered that the client was not guilty. Yet it took almost a year before we could get the client out of jail. We found that the system is very reluctant to admit that it's made a mistake, and even though our client had an alibi, a credible alibi, even though the DNA did not match our client, even though the DNA actually pointed to another person who now is charged with the offense, the system was reluctant to admit that they made a mistake. And so the advocacy that my colleagues did in representing that client made a huge difference. The client is now out of custody and working, and the charges have been dropped. but that is an example of the importance of having zealous advocacy to make certain that in the public's name, the state does not do a wrong. So that's something that happened fairly recently that I think really demonstrates the importance of the work that we do.
Something that you said that was very interesting to me, I just, I don't really think about it, but you're not getting the evidence until, the person, I guess that the state or whomever has already collected the evidence, and then you're working from the back end forward.
Exactly. We look at the case from a different perspective. When the police look at the case, they're definitely trying to solve the crime, but oftentimes there is tunnel vision. There's one way of looking at things, and oftentimes when we get the case, we discover that there's a totally different story that was not investigated. It doesn't necessarily promote the prosecution of our client, and it's important that the jury or the judge, whoever is going to be the fact finder in the case, it's very important that they hear both sides, the defense as well as the prosecution.
I guess the public always sees, shows like Law and Order, but it just doesn't, it's not one episode. It's the marathon. What's also interesting is that you have one of the best internship programs in the country. What makes it so great?
I am very proud of our internship program. I think what makes it so great is the buy-in for my colleagues in the office. You can't have a good internship program if you don't have good mentors. That's what an internship program is all about. I led our office's internship program for many years before I became the chief public defender, and now I am proud to say that I have help. I have two fabulous co-leaders of our internship program, Eric Elms and Vincent Orries, and they work with a committee. And so we have many people in our office that work together. It takes time to mentor something that you can do because you know how to do it. You can do it very quickly. When you are teaching someone else how to do it, it takes a little bit more time, more effort, and I am just so happy that our team sees the value in taking that time, because essentially we are training the next generation of defenders. And so the internship program is very important. It's a diverse program. We get people from all over the country, from law schools all over, who want to come to Memphis to learn from us. So we're really happy that our internship program has been received with such
Yeah, it's acclaim. I mean, national acclaim. That's what's so great about it. And, you can read a law book, but then there's what is real life and how do you apply it to real life? And so that's where your internship program has been able to really step in. So that's pretty incredible. And you, your summer internship cohort just wrapped up. So how many interns, and it's so interesting, they're attorneys, but how many interns did you have, and what are you thinking next year will look like?
Well, our interns are not quite attorneys yet. They're in law school, so they are attorneys to be. They can be finishing up their first year or their second year or getting ready to take the bar exam after their third year. But they're not quite attorneys, but there's a lot that they can still do to help. And we had 25 interns this summer from law schools all over the country, and they brought an amazing energy to our office. And from what I understand from the reports, they learned a lot, and many of them are anxious to come back next summer.
See, and that's the thing about retention. So it looks like you're going to have more people coming back that have already been in the program, and you've done some amazing things, and we're just so glad that we have your institutional knowledge in such a space. So thank you so much, Chief, for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, so We'd like for you to stay tuned. When we come back, we are going to hear from a supervising attorney for the program and a recent intern who is now an assistant public defender because of this lady here. All right, we'll be right back.
Shelby County, Tennessee was founded as an agricultural hub for the South. We're now an ag tech center for the world. We're on a mission to prepare the nation's next generation of leaders by providing world-class education, world-renowned healthcare, and a strong infrastructure to support the world's best businesses. Shelby County is more than a place for people to live. It's a destination where families can thrive. We welcome diversity, we celebrate our culture, and we honor our history. Welcome to Shelby County. Or like we love to say, welcome home.
Welcome back. We just heard from Public Defender Chief Phyllis Aluko here on One TV, and now we are joined by her office's supervisor and a recent intern. Welcome to Eric Elms and Devarius Minor. Hello.
Hello. Hey, how are you? Thank you.
Yes, you guys are looking pretty spiffy here. I mean, look at this.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're the supervisor for this nationally acclaimed program. Tell us what the interns do.
Well, we have interns every summer from all over the country, from law schools all over the country, and they have a number of things. The first week they're here, we engage in a lot of training, not just criminal law and procedure training, but also training about how to interact with the clients. And we have a goal that by the end of the summer, the interns are going to be comfortable, speaking to clients. They have a lot of client-facing work, more than interns in a lot of other legal settings do. So they do that. They do a lot of writing. They do research. We have a trial skills workshop that is 6 weeks. We've got brown bag lunches where leaders come in and talk to them. We have trial workshops where they help our attorneys prepare for trials. And then we have kickball games against the lawyers. We go to the Civil Rights Museum. We have a lot of different programming for them.
But I mean, it seems pretty intense. But these are real people with their real lives, and you're coming out of school. You've been looking at books, so that's quite a transition, I would imagine.
It is, and we are client-centered in our representation, and we teach them client-centered interviewing, and we want to give the students space to process things they hear and see in their work. We do a lot of debriefing with them about cases and about clients. We also have roundtables where they are there without us, so they can process with each other. We have each intern, in addition to their lead attorney that they work for, they have a mentor attorney that they don't work for, and that mentor is there to make sure they're okay, that they're thriving, that they're getting the right kind of work, that they're not overwhelmed. So we do try to focus on the entire whole students.
Wow, and so Devarius, you graduated from this internship program. Talk to me about your experience, and then you decided to stay. Talk about your experience, and then what made you say, this is where I'm going to be?
Well, I've always wanted to be a public defender. That's why I went to law school, to be a public defender. And once I got the opportunity, it was actually Chief Aluko and another one of her supervisors. They came to the Memphis Law Public Interest Fair, and I introduced myself, and they were the only table that I visited at the fair. And once I spoke with them, I was like, this is what I want to do. These are the people I want to work with. So we scheduled an interview, and from there, it was amazing. I got the opportunity to visit court, sit in court, interview clients. That's one of my favorite things, to actually meet real people and understand who they are and figure out the best way to help them and their situation. This internship experience was, like I said, one of the greatest things of my law school journey. It showed me that this is what this is what I'm here for, and this is what I want to do. And it gave me the opportunity to realize that I'm doing the right thing and I'm on the right path.
Why did I get chills when you said this is what I'm here for? Because that's so deep. I mean, to know why you are on this earth, that's pretty intense. What would you want other interns to know who are seeking to get into this program?
This internship will provide you with real life experience. Law school, it teaches you the theories and ideologies of the law. You actually will get real practice here. You're in court every day. You'll visit the jail to meet your clients. You will have interviews with these clients. You will meet their families and their friends to figure out who they really are. And I don't know, it's beautiful. So I will let them know that coming here, it may seem like it's intense as you stated, but you will actually figure out whether or not being a public defender is for you or not, because it's not for everyone.
Okay, so moot court, you know, we hear about this. Some of us, maybe we were in high school and we did it. But can you talk about what you do with moot court and what that training looks like?
Chief Phyllis Aluko has one of her priorities was to create a moot courtroom / mock trial room in our office, which we've done. And it is really state-of-the-art facility with all the latest audio, video capabilities. And we utilize it for both training and for trial prep and for prep for appellate hearings. If someone is going up to the Tennessee Supreme Court in Nashville and is going to be responsible for an appellate hearing, we will prep them in the moot courtroom. There will be 3 or 5 justices sitting up on the dais, and we will be asked, they will be peppered with questions like will happen in real life. We also utilize it for training our interns. The trial skills workshop takes place in there where they actually have to get up, they have to cross-examine people. So we use it for training and for preparation of real cases.
Okay, I do like TV, so this is kind of like the show Suits. Have you ever seen Suits?
With Meghan
Meghan
Markle.
Yeah, Meghan Markle.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they're in the room, and then the
that.
other attorneys will play roles. So
Exactly.
the other attorneys in the office will actually play roles?
Yes.
That's intimidating,
It's not as intimidating as you may think. It's just role playing, and but like Eric said, we get the opportunity to have real life training in a courtroom, because that can be one of the most scariest things as an intern transitioning to an attorney, addressing the court and the judge. So we have the opportunity to deal with those feelings and our comfort levels at home in our own office. So it's amazing, actually.
Kind of warms you up, unlike you just appearing on TV here for the first time, right?
Right.
No, but thank you. That explains it quite well. All right, so I know you're both used to pretty serious questions, but we do a fun thing on One TV. We ask, and I'd like to ask you both, if you could have a superpower for one day, what would it be and how would you use it to benefit Shelby County? Let's start with you, Supervisor.
Superpower. I think to benefit Shelby County, my superpower would be the ability to end poverty, which would probably result in fewer cases. And so if it puts me out of a job, ending poverty, I'm okay with that. I'm not saying I want to quit, but I'll find another one if we can end it and, and not need the public defender anymore.
My goodness, that was a good one. All right, Devarius.
My first answer would probably be to read minds so I could better assist my clients, but I think the real answer for me would be some way to fix the potholes and everything in the roads for everyone. So if I had that superpower, I think that'll be beneficial for every resident.
I literally don't know a better superpower. All right, boom, you get a cape. You get a cape. We all get a cape. All right, well, thank you so much, Eric, Elms, and Devarius Minor for joining us here today. And thank you for joining us on One TV, your source for all the latest happenings in Shelby County government. There is a program in Shelby County government that helps people across West Tennessee. The Aging Commission of the Mid-South, housed inside the Shelby County Division of Community Services. It connects thousands of seniors to mental and physical lifelines. One TV's Kelly Roberts shows how community collaboration makes this program a success.
The Aging Commission of the Mid-South is making sure Shelby County's 60 and older population can live as independently as they can. But it takes support from community groups like MIFA. These partnerships help our seniors live happy, secure, and healthy lives in their golden years.
As many of us are just getting up for the day, the folks at MIFA have already prepared thousands of meals. 5 days a week, this kitchen is cooking, wrapping, and shipping off those meals to serve Shelby County's 60 and over population for its Meals on Wheels program.
It is always more than just a meal.
VP of MIFA's Meals on Wheels program, Tanya Parker, says they home deliver meals to seniors who have trouble being able to leave the house and send meals to 16 community centers for a congregate meal setting. They serve more than 140,000 meals at those community centers in a year. The meals do not cost diners a dime, thanks in part to support from the Aging Commission of the Mid-South.
Because of the partnership with the Aging Commission, they are our biggest funder for our program.
Our mission is to help seniors and people living with disabilities in assisting them and connecting them and their families and caregivers to the resources they need to maximize their independence in the community.
Along with food services, the Aging Commission of the Mid-South can connect clients to adult day services, legal assistance, homemaker services, guardian services, and more. More than anything, Kim Daugherty, Executive Director of the Aging Commission of the Mid-South, wants West Tennessee's older population and their loved ones to call with any questions or concerns.
But we have concerned family members, concerned neighbors call us all the time. We get with that person they're calling about and see if they would like assistance and how we can help them.
Beyond Shelby County, the Aging Commission of the Mid-South serves seniors in Fayette, Lauderdale, and Tipton counties. It takes partnerships like the one with MIFA in all those counties to reach everyone who needs assistance. The goal for everyone, to benefit seniors' physical and mental health. Folks attending the congregate meals at the Orange Mound Community Center say that effort is paying off.
I love it because you socialize. Second is because the meals are in portion control.
This may be the only meal that they really get, only full nutritious meal. So it's a pleasure in doing so, and I think that they really enjoy it.
This is the best.
To learn more about the services of the Aging Commission of the Mid-South or to volunteer with its Medicare counseling program, call 901-222-4111. For One TV, I'm Kelly Roberts.